Hi, welcome to Curiosity. I'm Gary J, your host, and today I thought I'd ask the question, are psychics and mediums real?
The desire to know and learn something.
You're listening to Gary J's Curiosity.
Now this is a big question. Are there people out there that can speak to the dead and tell us our future? If so, why is it that these people are able to do this? Maybe one reason is because it's said that human beings only use up to 10% of their brain, which would leave quite a substantial amount unused, which in turn would give us a lot of room for improvement. So in that case, I suppose humans could have either had such powers in the past, which were lost through time for some unknown reason, or is it a power that nature has predicted so that we can evolve into better beings? I mean, you only have to look at what the human body can achieve today compared to that of about 20 or 30 years ago. I mean, for instance, if you look at videos of kids breakdancing years ago, the moves that they then pulled out in the 70s and 80s are nothing compared to what the dancers can do today. This isn't just because breaking was in its infancy back in the 80s, but it's because our bodies just weren't ready to perform such moves. Another example of body change is that of the free running, or parkour as it's also known, where you see all the young kids running around doing flips off buildings, etc. Now a young person can almost do superhuman moves by running up walls, jumping to extreme gaps between buildings, and even jumping from great heights without actually breaking some bones, which, to be fair, I struggle actually getting off the curb these days. But you just wouldn't imagine anybody doing that a few years ago. So maybe it's because we only use about 10% of our brain, and then we're constantly evolving, which gives people like psychics and mediums that extra something by tapping into the extra 90% that's left unused. Well, in all honesty, the 10% rule is nothing more than an outdated observation by doctors in the 1800s. And since then, because of the advancements in science and technology, it's now said that that is totally wrong, it's total garbage. And we actually use all our brains, well, some of us anyway, but some bits more than others. So where does this leave us? Well, I'm not saying at this point that it's impossible for people to have such gifts, because as I've stated before, there are things in this world that we're not meant to understand. But most of those that do claim to have the gift will argue the toss that their powers are real, and there are great numbers of people who also agree. But let me just point out that I would say at least 98% of those with this so-called gift will charge for it to be used. Now, the word gift means given. It's something that's given for free of charge. You don't charge for it. But in this case, maybe this is something that was given to them by a higher power in order to help people, which sort of makes a mockery of the whole thing when they say they have a gift and then they're actually charging for it. Anyway, most of us have heard the term cold reading, which is where a person uses certain words or phrases to gain information without the other person realising. For instance, before actually starting the reading, the psychic or medium will typically try to gain the cooperation from a person by saying something like,
I often see images that are a bit unclear, and which may sometimes mean more to you than to me. If you help, we together can uncover new things about you.
Now, just by the person's reaction alone, it will let the psychic or medium see how enthusiastic and cooperative the other person is going to be. And that is when the whole scam starts. You see, one of the other ways they find things out about you is by saying things like, oh, I'm booked up for the next few weeks, you'll have to book in advance and pay a deposit. And then they might ask you how many are in your party, if you're coming with more than one person. This all sounds normal, and then they'll ask you for your details to verify your card, and once they have your payment and it's gone through, you're booked in. Now, most of us wouldn't even think twice about doing that. You just pay, fantastic, you're booked in, you're going to have a great night. You'll be ringing up Sharon and going like,
hiya Sharon, fantastic, we're booked in.
But what the medium actually does is they start looking for information relating to you and your friends by checking Google and then checking social media accounts, and then that's it. They have all the information about you. I mean, because most of us have things in relation to ourselves on the internet. It's not hard to find things, and then all that does, it gives them time to research everything because, like I said, they're booked up. I'm saying that with my little fingers moving. They're booked up for the next few weeks, and all they've got is the information relating to you and your friends. Now, I know that there will be people out there who will totally disagree, and that's your right, but it's also my right to disapprove of what's actually going on. Now, if you question a psychic or medium and put them into a sticky situation, I'll almost guarantee they'll say things like,
Well, that's not how my gift works at all. It's not how it works. I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling strong tonight. Not feeling it at all. Oh, it's not like a telephone, you know, love. You just don't pick it up and speak to the spirits. I've got to channel in. And sometimes it's just not right. The conditions are not right.
and they'll come out with all sorts of excuses. Yet at the time of booking, if you look on their website or on the Facebook page or whatever they're using at the time, they'll often say right 100% of the time. So which is it? Are you right? Are you wrong? I mean, time and time again, I've watched well-known celebrity mediums being debunked and proven wrong. Everyone from Sylvia Browne, who's really famous apparently, to Sally Morgan, Derek Acorah, to the Psychic Twins. They've all been proven wrong, every single one of them. I mean, if you go on YouTube, you can find thousands of videos showing them providing wrong information which they say was correct at the time, but then it's shown to be completely wrong. But they will say that their powers don't always work as they should. That's just a get out clause, obviously. And to be honest, for the price that some of these people are actually charging, they damn well should work all the time. Now, one person to prove all this wrong and fake, etc., whatever you want to call it, is that of James Randi. Now, he runs the James Randi Foundation that offers people like that a chance of winning $1 million to prove that their powers work under scientific conditions. Now, not one of them has been successful. And to be honest, most of the celebrity mediums will say, all right, yeah, I'll do it when they're live on TV with him, and then come up with the excuse that the test is unbeatable and is not fair. Yet James Randi himself has been on a TV show after TV show and proven that those claiming to have a mental gift of some sort are just scamming people, and none of the tests have been unfair. So, where does this leave us? Are there such people out there with powers that can speak to the dead or see the future? Or are we just all being scammed and taken for a ride? Now, whether you think there is or there isn't, please leave me a message. I want to say thanks for listening. I'm Gary J. You've been listening to the Curiosity Podcast. Chat soon, and remember, do something that scares you.
The desire to know and learn something.
You're listening to Gary J's Curiosity.